confirm ISO Veritas Sdn Bhd. So if you need any advice related to ISO matters, do call me.
Right. So let's hear from Anja.
Okay. Sekejap. Ni lah, off video lah. Hi, I'm Anja. I run a social enterprise called Akina Empowers, and I also run an impact consultancy firm, Content Lab Sdn Bhd. If you need any help or mentoring on social enterprise model, do call me. Thanks.
Right. And Omar?
Hi, everybody. Oops. Okay, yeah, this is Omar. To put it in a nutshell, I help people develop confidence and better skills in conversations and communication.
Thank you,
Next.
Omar. Right. And Nina.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. So we got party tonight. My name is Nina from KL, but currently based in Sabah. I run 2 social enterprises after my various failed attempts in running entrepreneurship for the past 14 years. But Alhamdulillah, since I found my purpose through social entrepreneurship, it's been a good run so far. With Grow the Goose, it's been 6 years where I run financial empowerment programs for children, teens, and adults. And Borneo Cocoa is coming to a year where we empower small cocoa growers in Sabah with the knowledge and skills to increase their income through producing cocoa-based snacks.
Thank you. And as for me, my deep interest revolves around learning and development. At this point of time, my focus is around image and professional development. I'm an image consultant. In image consultancy, my area of focus are appearance, behavior, and communication along the line of image, branding, and personal and professional growth and development. At the same time, I am supporting Akina Empowers, a social enterprise. I am the Learning and Development Director. Okay, so to start, let's start with the most interesting part of the Learning Alliance Network meeting, virtual meeting, which is the Brain Gym. I hope this time around it's not too hard as per last 2 weeks, but I hope that also again at the same time it's not as easy as the first time, and most importantly, it's interesting enough for Nina Othman. Okay, let me show you the riddle. Okay, hang on. Let me do the share screen. I hope all of you can see the screen. So, okay, this is the riddle. You measure my life in hours and I serve you by expiring. I'm quick when I'm thin and slow when I'm fat. The wind is my enemy. Who am I or what am I?
Seperti biasa, Lina jangan kau nak Google answer. Anja pun sama.
No Googling.
Dia yang buat, orang pula.
Tak ada makna nak aku ada satu je phone nak guna nak Google apa.
I am quick when I'm thin and slow when I'm fat. Definitely it's not Anja lah. Because Anja is fast even though she's fat.
Mulut.
Inilah mulut puaka Norazina Ibrahim ni. We call her that, mulut puaka. Mulut memang tak ada insurans.
Okay,
tolonglah insurans agent kat luar tu cari sikit.
I give you clue. The clue kan is the last sentence, the last line. The wind is my enemy.
It sounds like Trump's hair.
Ni lagi seko mulut puaka.
And okay, and the second clue is that you link that the last line to with the you measure my life in hours.
Cok, ada orang tanya ni, they can't view it because your life is not public. I'm not sure what that means. Your FB life is only for your friends. Anyway.
Okay, changing the privacy now, making it public.
You measure my life in hours. Is it expiry date? I'm quick when I'm thin and slow when I'm minute. The wind is my enemy. Apa? Smoke? You measure my life in hours.
Eh,
Apa ni? Calendar, wind.
I give you the third clue. Ayo. This
Mm.
one is really closely related to Jacqueline Joannis also.
Lilin, candle.
Oh yeah. And also
Alright,
Rachel
guys.
Ong.
So it's Lillian. You
Amazing.
measure my life in hours and I serve you by expiring. I'm quick when I'm thin and slow when I'm fat. The wind is my enemy. Of course, it's the Lillian.
Ah,
Oh. Yeah.
10 points for Nina.
Alright.
Bagilah markah kat diri
So
sendiri.
let's continue on the next. What's our next agenda, Nina?
Gratitude, which I will start.
Okay.
All right. So my gratitude for today is that my 9-year-old son second attempt masak nasi sendiri and it was perfect today. Tak keras. The first time he did was slightly al dente, so he had to sprinkle some water and masak balik. Today perfect. He masak the beras wangi keladi or red organic rice from Kampung Tambatuan, Kota Belud. Perfect. 9-year-old. So bangga. Oh. So that's my gratitude.
Right. Who's next?
I have so many things to be grateful of, but the most important gratitude that I want to share today is about being here in my hometown, in my kampung with my siblings and my dad tonight.
Oh, wow. Nice. Anja?
My gratitude. I am thankful that recently I'm engaged by an international organization, a US-based organization, for me to mentor young entrepreneurs from India, Tel Aviv, African continent, and Ireland. So I'm so grateful to have that kind of opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm grateful because of Point of View series, because I've learned a lot from all the sharings given by our guests, and those are high quality sharing. And just recently, a few hours ago, I had this very, I think the most life-changing sharing that I've experienced. One of those sharings, and I'm really thankful for that. So you know what I meant? The Point of View XSSEN, the Social Entrepreneurs in Sabah. Thank you so much for your sharing. Omar?
Okay, I'm next. I'm grateful because I've recently gotten an opportunity to be able to coach some IT people from Indonesia on how to improve their English and their communication skills.
Ah.
So there's a good chance I could do that. Yes.
Good. Wow. Right. So the part that we all are looking forward to is the spotlight session. Tonight's topic is about forget about goals, build systems instead. By Sheikh Omar Anwar. Over to you, Omar.
Yeah. You really my head, is it? Spotlight? Okay. I recently read a book by, well, not read a book, but I learned about this guy. His name is James Clear, and he wrote a book called The Atomic Habits. In that book, he talked about creating systems instead of goals. And I'd like to share that with you because this concept has changed my perspective. It's made my my goal chasing more healthy, less stressful, and a lot more constructive. So let me just share screen real quick. And what I want to do is I just want to use the screen so that it's easier to describe. Okay, can everybody see the screen right now?
Yes.
Ladies? Okay, good.
Yes.
All right, so let's say this is me. Oops, okay, let's say this is me. It worked earlier. Right, and then I have a goal. This is my goal, right? Now, let me ask the four of you. Have you ever had goals where it didn't happen?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Obviously,
totally.
right? So
Yeah.
how do you feel about that?
Create
Just
another
give me
goal.
one. Sorry?
Create another goal.
Create another goal, but how do you feel about the goal that didn't work?
Disappointed
What's your
lah.
energy like?
Disappointed
Okay.
lah. Sad.
Yeah, so disappointed. Okay,
Ada dah
next.
hikmah. Sad, angry.
Sad, angry.
Oh, redha.
Okay.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, so a lot of times when we don't achieve our goals, it becomes an emotional burden, right? There's a negativity around not being able to achieve our goals. And then we take it hard. We actually blame ourselves. When we don't achieve our goals, we actually feel a lot of stress, and we think that maybe we're not motivated enough, or maybe we don't want our goals bad enough, ataupun tak cukup discipline, or we need more grit and perseverance and all of that, right? So now, what James Clear is saying is that don't look at yourself as the main reason for not achieving the goal, because it's really not you, it's something else. And this something else is what he calls a system. Okay, it is actually a system. So you've got, this is you, this is your system, and this is your goal. Now when you have a system, let me just go back to the screen. Okay, hang on a second, yeah. Okay, so when you have a system, you're actually looking at the environment or the circumstances to help you achieve your goal, right? So I'm giving you a short version because I don't have much time here, but essentially it's like this. I just want to share an example first, right? Example of me, of my own life, because I'm one of those, if you're like me, I'm one of those who don't like to pay bills because it's such a mess. And I always get my phone cut off, you know, my electricity cut off and things like that. And it's not because I can't afford to pay, it's because it's a hassle for me to pay. For example, when my phone bill comes, first of all, I tell myself, okay, which account do I pay? You know, like my Maxis bill, what's my Maxis bill number? And then I have to go look for it, right? So then I tell myself, okay, I don't know where it is. I don't know where the last bill was. So I end up saying to myself, I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm going to do it this Saturday. So on Saturday, I could have other things that I'm doing. And when I do other things, I don't get to pay my bills, right? And when I don't pay my bill, my phone gets cut. The minute my phone gets cut, I call them up and I say, hey, how much do you want me to pay? And what's my account number? And I make all the payment and it's done. So usually my phone bill is paid right after it's been cut, which is ridiculous, right? So now, why am I not able to pay my bills? It's simply because I don't have all my information with me. So what I do now is I create a system. And the system that I'm creating is simply organizing my information. So I used to have the information in a book, right? And the book would be my yearly calendar. I would have a page where I write down what is my Maxis account number, how much do I have to pay every month. The problem is, the next year, for instance, I can't find the book. You know, I can't find the page, I can't find the book. So I end up going through the same hassle, right? But at least I have a system. So now what do? I just have to tell myself, how can I create even a better system such that I can have my number, my information at hand. So today, my information is actually in my phone. I create a contact, you know, in my contact list. I create let's say a contact called bills, and I have all the information there. So it's always there with me. So now I don't get my bills cut. All right, so in that sense, I've organized a system that supports me in achieving my goal of paying bills on time. All right, so there's a very simple example. So it could be organization of information, or it could be organization of rituals. Rituals, maknanya things that you do, or an organization of your social structure. Okay, let me talk about social structure because this is also something that's close to my heart. Again, I'm one of those who, besides being disorganized, I also have a lot of things that I want to do. But my nature is that I think about it a lot, right? So it's just my nature. I analyze it a lot and things like that. I just don't know how to get it moving. So what I do is I associate myself socially with people who get things done. All right, so I don't know whether you ladies know this, but you're one of them. You're one of those people. You're one of the groups that I associate myself with to get things done. Because guys, these ladies are, you know, they're going places. They're doing things. They're going places. So what I do is when I hang out with them, you can't help but move, right? So and through that process, I have created a system that gives me the inspiration or the support or encouragement. In fact, during this MCO's period, what we did was we got together every week. Remember earlier on, we got together every week. Now it's sort of like not so frequent. And we actually declared some of the things that we want to do. And then we follow through. Or even if we don't follow through, we declare it anyway because it gives us accountability. So socially, I create a system for myself that makes me achieve my goals of getting things moving, right? So there are many ways to create systems. And another system I like to share with you is keeping the house in order. Now, I am a single parent, and I don't have a maid. And my kitchen is a mess. I don't know where my things are. I don't know how much I've got, how much I don't have. And sometimes I keep buying stuff and I find that, oh my goodness, I've got three other packets stuffed in the drawer somewhere. And we've got Lena, Lena ISO. ISO, it's no accident. She is an ISO consultant. And she actually ISOs her house, her home, right? ISO is a standard organization. Is an organization that deals with standards, I mean. So she has a mentality of organizing things. And what I like to do is to share with you very quickly. So she shared with me some pictures of her kitchen, right? Okay. So can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to share you a couple of pictures, and then I'm going to ask Lena a few questions. So this is one of her spice racks. Lena, can you tell us about this a little bit?
Okay, I started with this just for your information, because of course when we have risk or problem, then we start to think of the solution. So this is one of my ways to settle the problem or issues that I have. So for example, you know, Malay's food, we use a lot of these herbs, and I always have this problem. Sometimes there's only one ingredient not enough. So that's get you frustrated, and then voila, then I start to have this. And then apart from this, is actually I have the master list, including the expiry date.
Wow. Okay. Here's another view of her kitchen, her spice cabinet.
Oh, this is my pantry actually.
Pantry, okay.
That's contain you know, things that we always kept in our house for normal mom.
Yeah. So, all right. So, if I can just ask you this, Lena, how has this helped you? How has this helped you?
Definitely helps me a lot, you know, especially when you are regularly in your kitchen and then you have to cook for your family on a daily basis, and also you are working. As I mentioned just now, I'm running my own consultant firm. I conduct audit for my clients and whatnot. So I only have certain I don't spend too much time in my kitchen. So whenever I need something, so I make sure I need it fast.
Right.
Yeah, I need it fast. So by having those systems, it's really helped me to manage my time, especially.
Right. So what's obvious is that it saves her time in terms of cooking and finding stuff. It also helps her know what spices are missing and stuff like that. And she knows exactly where things are, so it's easy to get. But what's important to me here, Lina, is the fact that it's nice and neat. You know, if you come to my kitchen, it's a mess. And then you come home and you walk into the kitchen and you're stressed out. And you don't even realize you're stressed out because it's a mess, right? And then what do? You make a goal. And you say, okay, this weekend, I'm going to clear my kitchen, right? So that weekend, if you're able to, you will spend hours clearing your kitchen. So a goal is usually a single point of achievement. What that means is that when you define a goal, once you achieve your goal, you're done, right? Then what happens? You're messy again, you know, you don't have a system, you put things all over the place, and then you go 1 month later, you go, oh my God, I'm all stressed out. I need to have another goal, clean the kitchen. Then you spend the same amount of time, or even worse, you know, but in the meantime, you've got all of this anxiety and stress and uncomfortable living condition, right? Now, having a system means instead of achieving a goal once and then wait for it to get messed up and achieving another goal again, having a system simply means that you have a process or a place to put things. You know, I remember my ex-boss used to tell me a place for everything and everything in its place, right? So you know exactly. Thanks, Lina. So you know exactly where to put your things. So every time you are using your kitchen, you just put things back where they were. So it's always organized. So that's what you mean by a system. Otherwise, you know, you pick up a bottle of katakan, a bottle of ketchup, and then you put it over here, you know, and then the next day you put it over there and you can't find it. But if you have a system, you put it at the same place. So this is where it really helps us relieve a lot of stress. So a lot of times our life is stressful because of our environment is just chaotic, right? So there are, I've got less than 2 minutes. So there are many areas that you want to look at. So I've written some of these things down. Like for instance, exercise. Why aren't we exercising? Number one, is a bit difficult to exercise because you don't know where your shoes are, you don't know what exercises to do, you know, things like that. So I used to wonder, why do people go to gym? Why can't they work out at home? But guess what? If you work out at home, a lot of times you don't do it. So a lot of people, they go to the gym because there is a time, they pay for it, and there are people they mix around with. Now, you don't have to go to the gym. You can actually have an agreement with friends. You know, okay, at say 6 o'clock, everybody get together on Zoom and everybody exercise. So that's a system as well. So there are many systems you can create. You could have daily habits, your morning rituals as a system. And if time permits, I think Nina has been doing this really well. Not Lina, Nina. Nina has been doing your morning rituals where you do your exercises and your meditation and your to-do list reviews and things like that. So when we create systems, it helps alleviate a lot of stress and it makes us a lot more efficient. And more importantly, it gives you a lot of time, right? Yeah, so one last example. Okay, it's time. Well, yeah, because we have a lot of things to share. So if there's a lot of questions that you want to ask,
just finish up the last bit, Omar. Just finish up your last point.
I just wanted to talk about the MCO, this COVID period. Because before this, I've always been wanting to write articles, and there's always no time because my time, you know, I do so many things everywhere. But during the MCO, all I could do was just stay home. So during the time that I stayed home, I actually started writing articles. So I was regularly writing on Facebook and LinkedIn and drawing my cartoons and all of that stuff. And then it got to the point where I had to move. I needed to move home. I moved to an apartment. So during that time, everything was messed up. So when everything was messed up, but guess what? I had a goal. I still want to do my articles, but I couldn't achieve them because everything was messed up. I didn't have a system in place, right? So your system is something that will result in you achieving your goals. So instead of focusing on your goals, focus on creating systems. And if it's not giving you the results that you want, relook at your system, rework it, right? So you're not blaming yourself. You're just refining the system. Okay. All right, back to you. Who is it now? Lina? Oh, no, Nina.
Is it me? Jacqueline, do your thing.
Right. So yeah, well, as you were explaining those, ya pandai kita ni memang tai chi punya orang ni. Okay, tak apa. Right. As I was listening to you, Omar, it's really relevant when things are in chaotic. It's really giving us the funnel around how can we get into the structure. And always we even been being bombarded with this word. It's not about the goal, but it's how your journey is while you are going through achieving the goal, right? So I guess the system that you mentioned, that's one of the most important part in the journey itself. Now, I have a reflection again, as I was listening to you, is that I reflect on myself. Have I done any system before? Yes, I did. Have I fall off of my system? Many times. And then I ask myself, why was it? And it reminds me again, the model that I think all of us shared, which is the be, do, have model. The have is the goal, the do is the system. But I guess I fall off because I've forgotten about my being. Or not really forgotten, it wasn't that strong. But again, it's always a conversation in ourselves that, you know, I have a system, I have a goal to reach, but most importantly, how do you feel about it? How determined are you about it? So I'm also telling myself in this. So what's your reflection? Maybe we can hear from Nina.
Oh yeah, before I forget. So thank you for your sharing. It's just so refreshing to hear. That means there is a label for it. Like before this is like, you know, so I think if I may apply it to, since I'm a kids empowerment advocate, so I'm gonna apply it to the kids. So you know how we have a schedule for kids, so that now it makes sense that that's a system. However, as I was listening to it, so you were talking about that routine that I've been doing with my boys. So it's actually called the 66-day challenge. It's by Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club and stuff like that. And so we started it for the first week. We tried doing the 5 a.m. and it worked for the first week, because it was like macam, you know, we baru habis puasa 6, so the sahur part, so it was kind of easy. But after that, bila dah tak puasa dah, dia macam fall off the ni balik tau. So dia just bangun subuh and then diorang nak tidur balik. Dia cakap, Mami, can we do later? So of course, if it was just me, of course I will continue, but because it involved them, I had to relax the system. So I allowed them to then, okay lah, up to you lah, so what time you want to do? Dia cakap 8:30. So because cuti sekolah pun dah habis, so it's starting with sekolah balik, so they need to now do the schoolwork pula. So if they were to wake up at 5 a.m, do this thing, they'll be too tired to do their schoolwork. So then I got them to test out the system. So, you know, I think it also comes back to, you know, you IT ke tak IT, you know, how you have to continuously test the system, ada bugs ke apa, and you're right. So when you do that, you don't feel so like macam, shit, I didn't achieve my 5 a.m. punya whatever. And it's not about that. It's about the journey of them actually doing it. Now, macam hari ni, weekend, dia cheat day konon. You know, cheat day, dia cakap tak nak bangun pagi. I said, okay, up to you, but when you do it, we'll do it slightly later. So, tadi kita tukar. Kita buat petang pula. So, I think the system is the fact that before the day ends, you need to do it. From the time that we made it, like pukul 5 kena bangun 20 minutes tu, benda tu, the system does not work for the boys at this stage, and it doesn't do them good. So we tested out the system, it doesn't work. But okay, so that's the routine part. But as you were also talking, I was also thinking about, I used we learned about the John Goddard, the guy, the Indiana Jones guy, 109 goals and everything. I'm thinking, how do you then apply it to that? So just say your goal is like to play violin or learn how to pick up ukulele and everything. So does that mean like what? That scheduling of the days that you go? Is that what it means? So I think that's playing in my head. Anyway, it's open for discussion.
I have a bit of input on that because, okay, hang on. Oh, you want to say something, Lina? Maybe you can.
No.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. Because I'm a person that I need to see progress. Progress, as in the building up of certain things. So the building up probably in the form of numbers. So when, we have started the POV. We started with episode number 1. As time goes by, I'm seeing the numbers getting more and more, and that motivates me, really. Like, I'm like, oh, I need to remind myself, the quantity has to come with quality as well. Yeah, but most of the time, because there's also story behind the point of view. Well, we started like pretty much like a selfish reason, which is we want to learn. It's only for me and Oma. But at the same time, seeing the numbers getting more and more, it gives me that motivation, right? So I think, like, coming back to what you said just now, the to-do list. Like for myself, I like to see the progress of ticking. As in, okay, I have this, I have a Excel sheet where I put done or okay. So as more and more okay that I see, that gives me the satisfaction. Yeah. And there's also another part of it. If I don't see as many okays as how I want it to be, then I tend to penalizing myself emotionally or mentally. So I have to be very careful on that.
Jack, right, so I would like to, okay.
It's okay, go ahead.
Omar,
I just want to share because this is things that I do. ISO. In ISO standards, when we are talking about, there's one particular clause talking about goals that you want to achieve. Like for example, if you implement quality management system, they are talking about your quality goals, what you want to achieve. So in the standards, clearly mention that if you want to achieve a goal, you must know how you can achieve that particular goals, what you are supposed to do, what is the program, when you want to do, who are supposed to do that. And then after you have all those, which I can say that is basically a system, and then you need to review your goals. As you mentioned just you need to monitor your goals. As you mentioned, Jacqueline, just now, you always like to see the tick, so that it's done, if not done, what you are supposed to do. So that what we call monitoring. Yeah.
All right. I think it's much more. Okay, this is a
She's
question.
frozen. Is she frozen?
Am I frozen?
No, Lina is frozen.
Lina is frozen.
Okay.
Can you hear
Oma,
me?
you want to say something, Oma?
No, her network. No, that's exactly it. So for Jack, her system is based on visibility of numbers. So it works for her. So earlier on, Jack, you were talking about the be, do, have, right? So like for instance, if you want to be, let's say, healthy, you want to have a super fit body, so you got to be that person. Now, I agree, because having that mentality motivates you to exercise and all of that stuff. But guess what? There are times when you don't feel like doing it, right? You don't feel like being that person. So what do? That's where you actually need to rework the system. You need to change the system, like what Nina is doing. Change the system such that it's going to work again.
Yeah.
Right? And the easiest system, if you are someone who needs motivation and it cannot come from you, create a system where others are involved. Yeah. Right? So where you're declaring, and then somebody has to come back to you and say, kau cakap kau nak buat ni, kenapa kau buat? And that could be your system.
Yeah. That's why we have heard this. I think most of us, maybe our audience, have heard this accountability partners as well. It's very important. That's why nothing beats how to say, like-minded friends, like all of us here. Honestly, maybe I can share this to our audience. We have a WhatsApp group that everything under the sun that we will share there. You know, everything, like everything. Okay. Well, okay, we can't say much on that. But what I'm trying to say here is that it's really important to not operating yourself in silo. I think Nina can expand that further.
Yeah, so before Nina expands, I think we need to give Lina and or Anja
Yeah.
reflection session. Anja? Maybe not Anja. Fine, Lina, do it first.
Yeah.
We're left
Okay,
with
what happened just now? Am I stuck?
Am I
Well done.
We're talking about
Frozen.
what do you do? That's why you actually need to reboot.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm trying to say. Okay, am I okay now? Okay. Just now, yeah, once you have a goal, you need to have a program to achieve the goal. Then you need to monitor, and then you need to review. That's basically a cycle. That's what we call a system in order for you to achieve the goal. Yeah. Maybe that's why for me it's kind of easy because once I didn't achieve whatever goals that I set, so I don't really feel frustrated, but it's more on like looking back again. What did I do previously, and then how can I improve further, and then yeah, and then to revisit again, monitor again, and whatnot. So that's what we call the PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, act.
plan,
Nina.
do, check, act. So what was it just now?
Yeah.
You check out that monitor. What was it again?
You set a goal, and then you create a program. You list whatever you want to do for you to achieve your goal, and then you review. You monitor your goal, your program. Either you done it or not, and then you review it again. So it's a cycle.
And then the short.
And then that particular cycle, we call it PDCA. You plan, and then you do, and then you check, you act. PDCA.
PDCA. Yeah. Oh, plan, do, check, act. Okay, cantik. Thank you. And Miss Anja, you have not much minutes. Let's go.
For me, I think compared to all of you all followed by system, I totally out of system. I can't follow system. And I'm someone that visualize more than having goals, because that now that I clear about what is my purpose, for me, goal and vision can help guide you focus, and just allow the energy to flow where you want your focus is. Dia macam tu lah. Vision tu dia is aligned with your deepest values and priorities. And goal ni you boleh set specific target. Goals and mission tu is the vehicle to reach your vision. So for me, I always I'm just happy that I clear about what's my vision, because goal can be you can set and change. So I tak suka macam rely myself with specific goal. It's totally different dengan you all, because again I bukan orang sistem.
So having said that, you actually just said it. That is your system, Anja.
Exactly.
That is how you function, and that is how you operate, and that is how you are wired. Therefore, that system works for you.
Andai pun Nina.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened just now, as you were explaining it, that's basically your system, but the way you explain it, it's driven from not the do, but it's around the being.
Her being is very strong. Her being drives everything else.
Yeah. And so, I believe like us, we realize that as well. That gets us to keep on doing the do and to achieve the have. And our have definitely fluctuate. You know, we keep on changing based on the situation that we are in. Yes, Omar, you want to say something?
Yeah, let me clarify something. When I say system, I'm not talking about organizing something. I'm just talking about your circumstances, your situation. You know, like for Anja, her system, her situation is that she keeps in touch with global people. She keeps in touch with the, you know, her network is very strong. She does all of these things. So that's her system in having her, that helps her achieve her vision and her goals. You know,
Yeah,
so this,
AOS, Anja Operating System.
Yeah.
so the system is actually the situation or the conditions that helps you achieve your goals. Yeah,
It's
not
very
a process. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we time's up. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's very important for us to not defining your system as per and anyone else's system. I mean, you can call it anything. It's your way of doing stuff. But what we are trying to say here is that a system, it doesn't mean that whatever my friends mentioned just now, but it's you having the clarity around how are you going to do what you want to achieve, right? Yeah. And it can be the action, it can be driven from yourself, your being, and all those, I think all those things have to work hand in hand in order for us to achieve the have, right? Okay, so are we
Yeah, we're good on the reflection part. We're going to go into the action pledge part.
All right.
So, Jacqueline, you want to start? You want to start?
Okay. Action pledge. Right. Forget about the goals. Ironically, you have to forget of the goals, but we are pretty much you know, in all of our conversation just now, it's always around the journey and there's a goal, right? It's not entirely forgetting about your goals, but not the focus. So for me, I pledge to be in touch with the being. Yeah, because I'm actually quite practical person, and sometimes too much of practicality because I want to see the ticking or the okays or the numbers. So I have to get in touch with my being, because this actually drives me. If I were too much focused, if I'm too much focused on the progress, it's actually quite demotivating sometimes. Yeah. So that's my pledge.
Thank you. Lina, let's hear from you. Immediate action, darling.
Immediate action. Actually, Kanina, I always amazed on your semangat go for the 5 a.m. club. And then when Omar shared that he also want to do the 5 a.m. club, and then I am contemplating either can I do that or not. But now, here, my pledge, I want to start my 5 a.m. juga.
I would join you, but yeah, my boys won't be able to join. Setakat aku nak buat 2 kali. So tak apalah, berjalan je lah seorang-seorang.
Omar lah, my partner for my 5 a.m. club. Can Omar?
Yeah, can.
Can
because I sleep at 2 o'clock.
Ya Allah, kau ni.
Yeah, she's frozen already. She's frozen. Yeah, can.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank you, Lina. Omar, let's go with you.
Yeah, my pledge is to get back on my articles. So now that I've pretty much settled into my new place, I'm just going to look at what kind of setup I can have such that my articles are done. You know, yeah, so without a system, I'm always all over the place. Like when I'm trying to work on my article, I'm thinking, alamak, rumah tak siap. When I'm working on my rumah, I'm thinking, alamak, ini tak siap, you know? But when you have a system and everything, there's a time for everything and everything in its time. So there's a place for everything in its place, yeah. So yes, I'm going to set up a system that will naturally result in me writing more articles.
Thank you, Omar. Anja?
Okay, my pledge, okay, when we talk about vision goals, you all know that my vision is one day to have a foundation and to be in 20 countries from all 6 continents. And the how I leave it to God, to Allah, to universe, how to achieve that. But I'm thankful by having this network, being assigned to mentor a few young entrepreneurs. I think that's one of the start journey to go all globally lah. So since I always believe with that, be the mentor you wish you had. I want to be the best mentor for them because it's my way of creating my own tribe. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ooh.
So mine would be, I think I want to create a new canvas based on what Omar has shared today. On when I run my programs and things, maybe I will incorporate this in a way, in an example, like for example, I like to go on road trips with my kids, and we have a destination. We know because I've booked the night stay, right? But I know like it takes maybe 2 hours to get there, but I have 5 hours to get there. And if you just think about reaching the destination, you will miss out on those pit stops that you do along the way, which is the one that creates the memories. So that's the one that I want to work on more, I think, as personally with my kids. So I think if I can create some kind of a tool that can allow others to use that. So yeah, I'm going to work on that. Thank you for your sharing today. Apa ni, Dina?
You mean
Let's work together.
like a
Let's work
template?
together. I have idea already.
Yelah. All right, so that's the done for reflections done and action pledge done. So I'm going to pass it back to our super host, Jacqueline Juan.
All right. Okay, as I was listening to all of us, it dawned to me that, ladies and gentlemen, if you are overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, have a way on, there's actually light at the end of the tunnel if you can think around what kind of system. When we mention about system, you have to replay this video. It's not a system where it's very technical, no. But what I mean, what we are trying to say here is that find a way to organize, to have it structured, to get it not too overwhelmed for you. I think you find your way. It doesn't matter how small or how big. Every step that you decide to take, it's always good as long as that's your choice, right? So again, okay. So and the Learning Alliance, we have our own goal as well. So we will be having a program, or rather a meetup, visual meetup soon in July. We will announce the date. It will be, we call that as the Learning Alliance 7 Continents. As per the name itself, we are getting a few of our friends from a few continents, mostly from Nina's and Anja's contact. It will be a session pack of knowledge sharing from our friends from a different part of the world, right? So stay tuned on that. So we are now having the system. We are implementing the system for us, for this TLA to reach that. That's our, well, I can call that our short-term goal because it will be soon, right? So I think that's all for tonight, right? That's all for tonight. And I would like to acknowledge our attendees, our audience. Thank you so much. And we have one, I would like to acknowledge this. I think this is Omar's friend.
That's my nephew, yeah. My nephew Salim.
Yeah. Salim, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And yeah, and for those who are watching this session, again, if you do have something that you would like to share, do reach out, because the Learning Alliance session or virtual meetup is actually for anyone. So we are open for any discussion. If you like to share or be part of this, yes, by all means. All right. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Tiba-tiba pula
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Happy weekend.
Yeah.
Now I can
Good
eat
night.
So those who can
Alright, so
work
I
with system,
will-
call me.
Yeah, I will log off from our live streaming.
Bye, everybody.
Dah habis.
Thanks for
Stop
watching.
lah. Dah habis lah.
Dah habis dah dekat FB. I thought that was a really good topic, guys. Like it really gave me perspective on how macam you're right, you know. I do get frustrated and macam self blame ke